Whoa, hold it.
Good morning.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Here I am. Here I am. I couldn't see myself. You know, the thing about these video calls that we've all gotten so used to is you're looking at yourself, you're looking at your friend that you want to talk to, and you're looking at yourself. And it reminds me of when I used to have actual interactions in real world with people.
Mhm.
I would go to a coffee shop, but I would bring a 6-foot mirror with me and I would set it right next to the person I was talking to so I could look at myself the whole time I was talking.
Did you seriously do that? Like, Mark? And here I thought you were going to say you sat by the window so you could see your reflection in the window.
Oh, my friend. Yeah,
You know what? That's actually, we need to start a coffee shop called the 6-Foot Mirror. We can have a four-top with a mirror and then two people.
We'll call it the Zoom room.
The Zoom room.
Oh, folks, this is how great ideas are born. He's Dewey Freeman.
We're going to
Mark
make
Sylvester.
in this.
We're the Elder Council, and it's no matter when you're listening to this, it's winter. I live in a beach town. Dewey lives on a mountain. He has a frozen well he gets to deal with after this call, and I may or may not go for a walk on the beach. We'll see. So speaking of it being cold in that time of the year, I thought it would be worthwhile to share with you and then to get your feelings on doing a personal annual review, the PAR. And what I mean by that is some would call it taking stock, some would be doing a report, thinking about all the aspects of your life. And I would do this on as big a piece of paper or a wall. I've got a glass wall right here that I draw on all the time. Something where you have a lot of room so that you can capture all the various dimensions of your life, your relationship, your kids, your work, your community, your business if you have one, your being a boss, being an employee, all the hats that we wear. And at this time of year, as we're going into the winter, I think it's a very good time to reflect on those. And let's just see where we're at on that with you, just check in with you, but then I want to give you a little recipe and then we'll talk about it.
Where you mean where the idea fits for me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Is this something that you do? Is this a normal course of action to do a PAR?
Yeah, I mean, it is and it's not. So there are many times where I do that on a regular basis. And actually, interestingly enough, Kimberly and I do that. It isn't very formalized, but it's like,
so tell me how you do it. How do you do it?
Well, mostly with Kimberly, between Kimberly and I, it's like, how are we doing? I mean, just literally, how are we doing? And we just literally walk through the last week, the last month, the last couple of months. Is there anything we want to make sure we keep doing? Is there anything we want to yeah, we're not doing that one again. Or yeah, there's stuff that we've done really well and could use some tweaking, those kinds of things.
Do you record it in some way?
No, we don't. Interestingly enough. on a personal level, I'm sort of doing that all the time. And then periodically I will do what I call an inventory,
Okay.
which is both what I would call a moral inventory, as well as a sort of moral / ethical inventory, as well as a personal inventory, as well as a sort of how are things going? What do I want to do in my life? How am I doing with my horsemanship? You know, how am I doing with my business? Where do I want to go?
So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And you threw a couple of hats into the ring. I'm going to mix metaphors all day today, if that's all right.
That'll be perfect.
Because you said you take inventory, which is like taking stock. It's counting things. And I said all the different hats that we wear, and you threw in the moral hat, the ethical hat, personal hat. Those are perfect. We learned this. This is nothing new. This is not anything we invented. What we did was we figured out how to integrate it into our lives, into literally everything we do. Anytime there's collective action, we do this. We call it WWW, just as because I'm always naming things and labeling things and making recipes of things. It just makes it easy for me to remember. And after any collective action, meaning we do something, we as a team do something, we go and it creates whatever. What I like about what you said was you do this personal for yourself. So I'm going to add that to my list. So thank you for that.
No, you bet.
The W's are what worked.
Okay. So that's the first W. What worked?
What needs work.
Okay. What needs work?
You could also say, instead of work, you could say what went well.
Okay.
But let's do that instead. What went well?
Okay.
What needs work? What didn't work? What went wrong?
What didn't
What
go
went
so
well? What went wrong? What needs work? Let's do it in that order. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm making what went well, what went wrong, what needs work. Okay. And example, we work with a mutual friend, Greg Smith. We help him with his TEDx in Youngstown, Ohio. Right. Kimberly is the speaker coach. I'm the executive coach for the team. So the production design and production, everything outside the circle, I pay attention to. Everything inside the circle, she pays attention to.
Got it. And this is Greg that I know.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And great guy. At the end of the event, while the chairs are being folded up and all that kind of stuff, I take the executive team and we go sit while we're still in the heat of it. And I pull out I pull this out. This is my big boy, right?
The big book,
the big one. And I make 2 lines, and I just start, okay, what went well? Oh, the speakers were all good. We were on time. The temperature felt good. The vibe was great. The registration was smooth. And as the facilitator, no judgment. What else you got? What else you said? What else went well? What else went well? What else went well? So you're interrogating and pulling that thread and trying to do it doing it in a way so you're not having any judgment. You're fully as neutral as you can be. Like, oh yeah, that was really no, just what else you got? What else you got? And you're just
Mhm.
scribing. Okay,
So
what
it's
went
more descriptive than opinionated, or more descriptive than,
just the facts, ma'am.
yeah. Okay.
And I want to get everything, like until they're and I'll say, okay, is there anything else? And I'll look around and they're like, we were done 10 minutes ago.
Thank you very much, Mark.
But what happens is the first in that type of interrogatory, the first 3 to 5 answers are obvious, and they're not in they're obvious. The insight comes from continuing. What else went well? What else went well? And you can see it, because I'm watching everybody. You can see they're thinking, they're really thinking about all the stuff. Wow. I'm writing. Okay, we got it. Anything else? No. Okay, what went wrong? Oh, well, that guy started shouting, or the power went out, or who knows what went wrong. Again, no judgment, because the thing that went wrong might have been something you did, and we need to capture that and feel like it's okay. It's a safe space, right? It's a safe space to be honest, right? What went wrong? Then my favorite one, I love it all, but the favorite one is what needs work. What needs work? And what's very interesting, because I've done hundreds of these, is when I look at the book, the what went well list can be this long. The what needs work list is this long. And a lot of times the what went wrong list, 2 things.
Mhm.
And that's been just interesting to me over all these years of doing it, that's most often the case. There's 1 or 2
Mhm.
things. And the reason that we do this is, and we do it right then, we learn this specific technique from Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann. He said that they would do it. He's a Green Beret. They call it an after action review, AAR. So anybody who's military who's listening to this knows this in their sleep. They do it while the guns are still smoking, and you're okay. What, because we need to learn immediately, because we may be turning around and getting right back in the fight. And that has had such a powerful effect on Kimberly and I that we do it all the time. We did it after the event you came out here to California for. We sat down, and when we go into planning for the next one, we'll be doing that in January. We'll pull that out and we'll look at it, and we'll double down on what went well. We'll remember what needed work was, didn't have enough waters. I didn't have enough snacks. I needed to go get snacks twice. Okay, well, let's make sure we have plenty of snacks so we're not distracted by that. Let's what went wrong, sometimes it's like one thing. Okay, let's not do that. So as I say all of that,
How's it hit me?
yeah, how's it hitting you?
Well, actually, a couple of things. One is what you just described, I think, is really powerful. And interestingly enough, you going back to, we were low on snacks. And I remember, I'm not sure exactly how it was decided, because I was in that one a participant, not a helping organizer. It was like, when you went and got extra snacks, to support and nourish people, it actually did change the energy in a positive way.
Mm.
So that's one piece. And I mean, just thinking back to that was like, oh yeah, because we were really intense and there were long periods of time between eating. And so the other thing that strikes me, I have like 3 or 4 things. One is when we do that kind of after action review, are we able to really look at it relatively objectively? Because we all have a tendency at times to grab hold of the negative.
That's why we start with what went well.
Exactly. There, and I don't know if this is a true story or not, or an urban legend or exactly what it is, but Einstein reportedly went into a class to teach, and he went 1 times 10 equals 10, 2 times 10 equals 20, 3 times all the way up, and he got to 9 times 10 equals 91. And the entire class chuckled at him, and it was like they didn't look at the 9 or 8 times that he was right. They looked at the 1 time he was wrong. So that's a really big deal. Is when we're doing a year-end review or after action review, can we look at it for what it is? It's like there's not a personal issue with the fact that the first round of snacks, there wasn't enough.
Right.
It just,
yeah. Can you be objective and withhold judgment?
Right. The other piece, and this is the piece for me, and it's actually it's a really core piece for me, is looking at what I do from a moral, ethical place, as well as a did I get it right kind of thing. And it's actually in a review or year-end review or a when Kimberly and I sit down and look at stuff, or just in general. I mean, right now this is going on for me with the fire department up here. Yes, we know many times how to get from A to B and B to C and C to D. Are we doing so? There's 2 levels. We can, what went well with that, what didn't go well, what do we need to change? But it's also the how I do something is so there's sort of 2 parallel tracks.
The what and the how.
Yeah, the what and the how.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going from A to B to C to D in a kind, ethical, moral way? Or am I doing am I not including that at all as a process?
So me as the visual thinker, I'm imagining that after doing this review from anything, that I lay a piece of onion skin on top of that and say, okay, now how did I feel about all of that?
Yes.
Right. Because I think, I'll just speak as a man because I can't speak as anyone else, that the goal achieved, goal targeted, goal achieved, right? We achieved the goal. We did the thing. The what is nailed. But the emotional how and why part of it, we don't talk about. And that's problematic on a bunch of different levels. Where it comes out for me every single week is it during improv. because in
Oh, really?
improv, oh gosh, yes. Improv, he said, the audience doesn't care about what you're doing. They want to know how you feel.
Mhm.
They want to see they want to see you be emotional up there. They want to see you react
Totally.
emotionally to what's happening. And Kimberly and I, because we do this many times a week. We're just we just get stuff done. Boom, 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 boom. We're busy, get stuff done. And then we go to class. He goes, would you guys stop? Like, he just told you that the pigs started flying out the room. How do you feel about that? Doesn't matter. The pigs are flying. That's true. That's true. How do you feel about that? Oh, and make me believe how you feel, and make me believe it so much, and make your scene partner believe it so much that you can't say any words. You can only react with your face.
Right.
And as I'm often want to do on the show, there's so many things that I learn in that universe of my life that applies right here. And I love this idea of, once we've done that, now do an emotional pass on that. What went well, I was happy. I had gratitude, whatever those things, what needed work. Well, I forgot to say thank you. A simple thing like that.
Exactly.
Or I didn't recognize a contribution from someone. It's like I didn't recognize their bravery for standing up, or I didn't recognize their vulnerability. And then what went wrong might be, it was clear they were hurting, and I was emotionally unavailable.
I missed it.
Oh, there you go. I missed it.
I missed it.
Mm. Mm.
And here's what's interesting. This is a bit of a tangent. In a relationship, it doesn't matter what relationship, whether it's your and my friendship, whether it's, your relationship with your Kimberly, mine with mine, other friends. It's like what we miss is often more important than what we do.
It's interesting. You could have a fourth column. What'd we miss?
Yeah, what we miss? Because and I would imagine this is even in improv, and I will very clearly state I'm not an expert at improv on any level, although I think I could really have fun.
Oh, you're gonna.
But if you say something with your words and you're also saying something with your face, and I only get the words, I'm going to miss at least half of what you're telling me. And even going back to mine and Kimberly's relationship, yesterday we had well people out here. We had big equipment. We had the high yesterday was 7 degrees, 7, not 70, not 17, like 07. That was a high. Dealing with frozen weather and frozen well, basically, and pipes coming out of the well. It's like there were a couple, maybe twice, maybe 3 times during the day where I was so focused on get this done. And it was like, oh, I have to slow down and look at this in a little different way, because the relationship between Kimberly and I was more important than any well or them plowing the foot of snow. Actually, it was 14 inches, but It was like, and that's that moral, ethical, relational
Mhm.
part that I'm really talking about. So in a year in review, because whether it be, for instance, you're in my friendship, it's like, how have we been with each other this last year? Because we've done some amazing things with each other, just
Mm,
totally amazing things. And
mm.
I think amazing shows that I'm very, very proud of doing with you. But it's like, how have we done that with each other? What have we, how do we do that? How do we do that? So it's like what went well? And maybe the question is what went well and how did we do it well? What relational piece or ethical piece did we come into that?
I think I have the answer. And
Please.
I'm going to go back to improv when we will have just done, this is in practice. Monday night's our practice. We have a coach who's 30 years in Chicago improv. He's studied at all the schools. He's taught at all the schools. He's managed all the schools. Can't believe we've got this. He's a triple black belt, right? He's the guy. And because of Zoom,
Is that the guy that I met?
no.
Oh, that's another guy.
That's
Okay.
Santa Barbara. Yeah, no, he's Chicago, and we we have him on Zoom, and we stack up stuff so he's at eye level with us, and we're at eye level with him, and
That's pretty cool.
we stand so he can see us, the four of us, and we'll do a scene. They'll go, hold it. He's what's called side coaching. He'll just stop you and go, hold it, and here's what. So when in improv language, when we're having a conversation with someone, we are giving each other a piece of information, ideally one piece of information at a time. So you and I would walk up, you would walk up. I'm just going to look at you and check in. And you're checking in. And I'm just looking to see what's on your face, because you can read, we're good at that as humans, right? But we don't stop. We feel like we have to say something. So it's like check in and go, well, you're looking a little mischievous today, buddy. Now that was a little gift I gave you. I am observing mischievousness on your face. So you're gonna yes, and I'm gonna take that gift. He saw something there. Okay, that's true now. Now I'm gonna add to that, and you may say, yeah, I bought her some flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, so now I know there's a her, and I know there's flowers. Oh, that's right. It's your anniversary. Now now that's a gift. I says, yeah, she always forgets, but I didn't.
And she loves roses.
So we're giving each other a gift. Now, what happens is when you're going through fast, I never even saw the mischievous. I missed it. Shoot. Oh, I missed it. I wasn't paying attention. Now, what's interesting is we do all this, and there's a room of people watching us. They see it. They can sense the tension. They can sense the emotion. They can sense all of that. And they're wondering, why can't that damn actor see that? He just gave him a gift. He just told him. He just told him it was the anniversary. And then if a white belt would say, that's not our anniversary. Scene dies. Right. So what are we talking about? Because we're talking about exactly the same thing. What we're talking about is something we've talked about a lot on the show, which is being present and listening loudly.
Yes. And listening with more than our ears.
Mm. That's a quotable, sir. That's our t-shirt for the day.
There's a t-shirt for the day. So let me just share, because this literally just happened. When you began and said, "You're looking a little mischievous today," I had this whole ripple of energy go down through my body and ripple inside me. Like, and Kimberly and I talk about ripples a lot. It's like,
Sure.
and ripples
Sure.
moving in up and down and in and out. So in fact, I do feel a little mischievous today. And you seeing that on some level touched me really deeply. And it wasn't, so you look a little mischievous today. That's 6 words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm counting correctly. It wasn't those 6 words. That's not all I got. I got all of this other information. So I heard the 6 words with my ears. I also heard all of the rest with my entire body. And the 2 things. One is to encourage people to learn to hear with their whole being, not just their ears. And that takes some practice, and that takes some work to allow ourselves, because as men in particular, we're taught to be up here.
Mm-hmm.
And here, like, oh, he said these 6 words. You said way more than that. And so one of the pieces of like personal inventory or personal review that I'm going to encourage is not just the ethical piece, not just a how well did we do, because both of those they're really big. Those are really important. The other is my encouragement is a review on how you're doing, and how are you being present, how are you making contact.
To quote us from another show, how are you showing up?
Yeah, how are you showing up? And so, and are you allowing yourself to be fully present, sort of going back to what you were talking about, in virtually everything that you do, whether it be talking to your best friend on Zoom,
literally everything you do, because life is giving you gifts all day long that are just a simple little look from someone, and life is so much richer as a result of that. And one of the conceits of this show is why is it at 69 years old I'm only just now figuring this shit out?
Yes.
Right. And my hope would be that someone today listens to this and thinks about literally the next interaction they have with a human. Just look at them, check in,
see everything,
see the whole thing, because it will change what comes out of your mouth.
Yes, and it will change what goes into your heart.
That, my friend, is the end of our show, our time together.
Thank you so much.